Alright, this is the test review for Unit 5. Now, before we begin, I'll go ahead and tell you that on this test review that you have in front of you, that if you're watching at home, hopefully you still have in front of you, this is the exact test. Same words, same numbers, everything, except for it has been rearranged. So the problem number 1 in your test review is not problem number 1 on your test. But that means if you follow along and you study this test, you should be fine. Alright, so let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 says, Nancy is making and selling pins to raise money. It costs 85 cents to make each pin, and she wants to sell each pin for $2.75. Which expression could Nancy use to determine the profit in selling 7 pins? Well, first off, the first thing you need to know is that profit is how much money she's going to be making. Alright? How much money extra is she going to be getting from every pin? So, if it costs 85 cents to make the pin, and she's selling it for $2.75, how do I figure out how much money she's going to make off of each pin? Off of one pin. She sells it for $2.75, alright, and it costs 85 cents to make. We're gonna subtract $2.75, which is the cost that she's selling them for, minus 85 cents. This is how you find profit. Now, that's the profit for how many pins?
7.
That's one pin. How many pins does she want to know?
7.
So what do I need to do with this? Multiply it by 7. Now, if we look, this right here matches exactly with D. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Alright, that's number 1. Alright, number 2, what is the value of the following expression? 15 plus 5, parentheses 2 minus 7 minus 4. Alright, all this is PEMDAS. Alright, so what do I need to do first? Parentheses. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Alright, so now we have 15 plus 5 times negative 5 minus 4. Well, PEMDAS tells us that next we have to do the multiplication. So what is 5 times negative 5? Negative 25. Good. So now we have 5 plus negative 25 plus a negative 4. What's 15 plus negative 25?
10. Or negative 10.
Alright, negative 10. The way you know that is, the signs were different. You had a positive here, you had a negative here. If the signs are different, then you subtract and keep the larger number sign. 25 was larger, so we kept the negative. So now you have negative 10 plus negative 4. Now the signs are the same, so we just add and keep the sign. So negative 10 plus negative 4 is negative 14. If we look at our answer choices, it's H. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Aha. G. Sorry. Alright. This next question, number 3, is meant to confuse you. You're supposed to read it real quick, get confused, and give up. We're going to slow it down. Alright, I'm going to read through it once. I'm going to let you get over the fact that you're confused, and we're going to move on. Alright, number 3 says, the surface area of Bangkok, Thailand is 12 feet less than 5 times the surface elevation of Auckland, New Zealand. If the surface elevation of Auckland is 25, which expression could represent the surface elevation of Bangkok? Alright, everybody take a deep breath. Alright, Now let's go through it slowly. The first thing it says is that the elevation of Bangkok, so I'm just going to put a B for Bangkok, Thailand, is, well, first thing it says is 12 less. So what does that mean we're going to be doing with 12? We're going to be subtracting 12 from something. All right? Is 12 less than 5 times the elevation of Auckland, New Zealand. So, this is all it said. Alright? We'll look at it again. Bangkok is 12 less than 5 times that of New Zealand. That's all it said. Alright, so now that we've got that written down and we're not panicking anymore, it wants to know which one would work if New Zealand was 25. So that would be, B would be equal to 5 times 25 minus 12. If we look at our answer choices, it would be D. Alright. Number 4. It says, what is the value of this expression? It's got 45 plus 5 parentheses 2 plus 7 plus 4. This is another example of a PEMDAS problem. In fact, this is one of the easier ones. We do our parentheses first. 2 plus 7? 9. Alright. So we have 45 plus, what's 5 times 9? Plus 4. Alright. What's 45 plus 45?
90.
Plus 4.
94.
J would be our answer on that one. Alright. Number 5. This one is not multiple choice, so this is a biggie. It wants us to come up with a rule for this sequence. 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 19. Well, each time, someone's already saying it, is plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Well, what we learned all week was that when we have plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, what are we going to do? N times 3. Now, when my n is 1, we're talking about my first number in the sequence. So when my n is 1, what number should I be getting? 4. 4 is the first number. Alright. So, if we plugged in 1 for n, said 1 times 3, we get 3. So what do I need to do to it? Plus 1 would give me the 4 I wanted. So our rule should be n times 3 plus 1. Now let's check it just to make sure. Alright. When my n is 3, I should get 10. My n is 3 at the third number. So if I plug that in, 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. That's what I wanted to get. Alright. So this right here would be your answer. Alright, we spent all week on that, so hopefully you remember doing that. Alright. Let's flip the page. Number 6. This will probably be the most missed question on the test. It says, the school band boosters are having a banquet to celebrate winning their regional contest. They have several hexagonal tables. Each side of the table seats one person. The tables need to be arranged in a straight line with one side touching the other. How many hexagon tables will be needed to seat 50 boosters? Alright, now the first thing that we've got to do in this question is just like the last one, we got to come up with a rule. Now, I'm going to make 2 columns here. This is the number of tables. Alright, so number of tables. This is the number of seats. Now, I don't think I have this. Alright, so if I were to draw this table, a hexagon table, sorry for my bad handwriting, but This is one table. So when we have one table, how many seats do I have there? 6. All right. Now, if I add another table, how many seats do I have now? 12 is the most common answer, but it is wrong. Can you sit right here?
No.
Not unless you're sitting on the table. All right. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's 10 seats now. Does everybody see why? This will be the most commonly missed question because people will write 12. When there's 3 tables,
13.
you've got to be able to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, so now we should be able to start coming up with a rule. If we get rid of this, let's take a look at what we have in our table. These are our n. This is our position number, right? The number of tables. Well, what are we getting every time? Plus 4. Plus 4. So our rule is n times 4. Now when my n is 1, how many seats should I have? Alright, so if I said 1 times 4, I'm going to get 4. Plus 2 will give me that 6. So here's my rule. Alright, if we wanted to test it, when n is 2, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Right there. Alright, so now we have a rule. Well, if we're looking at this rule, how many people do we want to sit?
50.
We want to accommodate 50 people. Alright, so give me a number of tables that you think. Let's just start guessing. 10. Alright, 10 times 4 is plus 2 is 42. So 10 gave us 42. Not quite there.
14.
Alright, 12 times 4, 48. Plus 2 is 50. So, how many tables do we need? 12. Alright, so your answer in the blanks below would be 12. Alright, not the rule, not anything like that. All you're going to put is 12 tables. That would be your answer. This is one to study right here because this is one of the most missed questions of last year. Alright, let's look at another easy one. Says, simplify the expression below. 21 plus 2, 6 plus 1 plus 5. Alright, another example of PEMDAS here. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 times 2? And plus 5. So what's 21 plus 14? 35 plus 5? That's your answer. Alright, now, number 8. First place prize was $125. Second place was $110. Third place, $95. Fourth place, $80. Guys, what's happening every time? Every single time it's going minus 15. Minus 15. So what do you think is going to happen after the fourth place? 85 minus 15 is $65. There you go. All right, now number 9 is another example of rules for sequence, but this time, this might be the first time, they give us the rule. We don't have to solve for the rule. They give us the rule. The rule is 5n minus 3. Now, they want us to pick which one of the following sequences match with this rule. Well, first number in the sequence. What is my n going to equal on the first number of the sequence? 1. Right? That's the whole point of n. So, let's plug 1 in. 5 times 1 is minus 3 is 2. 2 is the first number of our sequence. If that's the case, what's my answer? B is the only one that has 2 first. All right? Well, let's say you choke and you don't trust yourself. Check yourself again. Second number, what is my n? 2. What's 5 times 2? Minus 3. Our answer is B. That one should be easy. In fact, all number 9 is testing is whether or not you understand what n represents. Okay? All right. We have 3 more questions left. Now, these 3 questions are pretty difficult. All right, so make sure you're paying attention because they will get you. All right, number 10, it says, which problem situation could be solved with this equation? S equals 2 times 2t plus 12. Well, it says, what is S, the number of inches in feet? Well, we know there's 12 inches in 1 foot. If inches are S and feet is T, could I plug in 1 here and 12 here and get the answer I'm looking for? Would it work out? Well, let's look. You just said S is 12. What is 2 times 1? Plus 12. 14 times 2? 14 times 2? 28. Does 12 equal 28? No, it does not. 12 equals 12. 12 does not equal 28. Alright, so we know that our answer is not A. Now, if we look at, it's not F. If we look at G, it says, what is S, the perimeter of a rectangle with the width, well, hold on. S is perimeter. Alright, and then we have a width of 2t and a length of 12. Alright, so anybody remember the formula for perimeter?
Length times width.
Length times width is area.
2 times length times width.
2 times length plus 2 times width. Now, I'm here to tell you that that's the same thing as saying 2 times L plus W. It's the same thing, right? Now, if I take a look at this, instead of an L, I put 2t, and instead of a W, I put 12. Is that not the same as this? It's identical. So I'm going to say, right now, G is our answer. So I'll put a check mark next to it. We can check everything else first. Alright. The next one says, what is S? The area of a triangle with a height of T and a base of 12. Well, that would be 12 times T. Is that what we have up there? Does that match? No. Alright. So it's not H. Area of a rectangle, or actually that was J. H says area of a triangle, which would be base times height divided by 2, where our base is 12, our height is t, and then divided by 2. Is that up here? No. Guys, G is our only reasonable answer. G is our only answer. So make sure that you study that one. I know that that's a lot of work on that one. Alright, number 11 is not nearly as bad. It gives us the formula x equals 8 times 7480. Alright, it wants to know which one of these problems goes with that. A says Karen got $8 per hour for babysitting. Find the amount she was paid, that's how much she was paid, for babysitting 8 hours. Well, how would you figure out how much she was paid? 8 times 8. Is that what we have up here? No, so it's not A. Alright. So, let's look at B. The cost of a video game is $74.80. Find X, the amount Josh needs to buy the game if he already has $8. Well, what would I do to figure that out? Minus 8. Now, is that what we have up there? No. That's pretty easy. Alright. C, 8 friends spend $74.80 to pay for their camping trip. Find X, the total amount they paid. Well, how would I figure out the total amount they paid? 7480 times 8. Is that what we have up here? It is. It's different. It's backwards, but it's still the same thing, right? Just like 2 times 1 and 1 times 2 is the same thing. So, C is most likely our answer. Alright, Charlene got a paycheck for $74.80 for working 8 hours. How much was she paid per hour? So how do I figure it out? Divided by 8. Does not match, so C is our answer. Alright, last question. Which of the problem situations could best be modeled by the equation below? 1,200 is equal to 52 plus 18x. Alright. F tells us Debbie sold 52 boxes of fruit for $18 each. So we're going to say 52 times 18 to figure out that price. Plus a bonus of X, which would earn her 1,200. Is that what we have? Does that match? No, it doesn't. So F doesn't work out. Alright. Now, the next one says, Katrina earned $18 plus a weekly bonus of X for managing her money wisely each week for 52 weeks. And she earned 1,200. Does that match up? No, it does not. Alright. Marissa has $52 in her savings account. She earned $18 for each lawn she mowed. If X is the number of lawns she mows in order to have $1,200. Does that match up? It does match up. In fact, it's identical. So I'm going to go ahead and say H is our answer. Now we can talk about J. J says Edward has a balance of $52 in the bank. He added X dollars to his account last month. This week he deposited another $18. His savings is now $1,200. Blah, blah, blah. Does that match up? No. H was our answer. And that's all, folks.